Bienvenidos todos. Esta es mi clase de español.
At SIS, students spend years studying either Spanish or Chinese. Yet for many, fluency still feels far away. In a school environment, language learning often becomes focused on memorizing vocabulary and preparing for tests. In today's video, we are exploring SIS language teachers' perspectives on this matter.
My name is Caro Paglialunga, but everyone calls me Profe Caro. I teach Spanish 4 and AP, and then also this year I'm teaching Spanish 2.
你好, hello, I am 崔老师, Miss Cui. I teach middle school and high school Chinese. So this year I'm teaching Chinese 1 and Chinese 2.
I think what makes this class different from many others, especially content-heavy classes, for sure, is the nature of the content that we need to cover, or the skill. So basically, our classes need to be focused on different skills at the same time, and it needs to be very practical. If students are not engaged in a class, I think that is really hard to grow, because you definitely cannot cram the night before.
I think the biggest difference is for language class is very, very skills-based. Whether you can read, whether you can speak, whether you can communicate, exchange ideas, exchange information, whether you can write, whether you can listen and understand. These are the skills that you need on a daily basis.
I think one of the biggest challenges is definitely that students probably don't feel the need to practice as much as I would like to as a language teacher. So it is really important to design the classes or the activities in a way that makes students be engaged and active during classes. Because usually everyone is really tired or focusing on another test. Usually it's always like the next test that is coming up.
So I think one of the major problems that I see in Chinese classes, students tend to memorize more than communicate. They focus more on learning the vocabulary, perfecting their grammar, and maybe focusing on their grades rather than actually communicating and using the language. And also I find that students, maybe they're feeling uncomfortable to use it in real context. Let's say you come into the classroom, you say hello to your classmates and things like that. And also I think there's a fear for making mistakes.
Main aspect that we take into account when we design formatives or any kind of assessments here is how practical or applicable that is to other skills in the class. So we try to design the test and the formatives so that they give good feedback for students to understand what we're looking for.
So for me, as a teacher, I would try to have a comfortable environment for my students to make mistakes. I want them to know that making mistakes, it's a necessary part and it's a very important part of learning a language. And for example, we do role plays, and so they can actually communicate with other students. And we also, myself, I would also model making mistakes so they know that, okay, it's not just the students, teachers make mistakes as well. What we need to do is just to practice and practice and practice. Work on our mistakes, work on what we feel weak at, and gradually, time by time, you will get better.
Practice every class, whatever activity the teacher brings. I would say use it and be engaged with it, because that will help you so much to build the skill and the vocabulary and the knowledge in general of that skill long term. So every single class, even if the activity seems a little boring or not interesting, I would say do it either way, and you will see the growth as you move, as you go. And then also try to practice a lot outside in simple ways. I would say even as you're thinking about the day, think how you would describe what you're saying, what you're doing, and watch a lot of YouTube and even Netflix in the target language. I think that's huge because it gives you exposure to the way that native speakers use the language in an authentic way. So I think that would help a lot to train your ear, your vocabulary, comprehension, etc. And then they will definitely transfer into the exams or activities you're doing in class. It's a really good feeling when you feel like you're growing, you're learning, and material becomes easier.
So I think one habit that students should develop to become more fluent is having some regular low pressure exposure of the language outside of the classroom. Something as easy as like talking to yourself. For example, when you're walking on a street, you see, oh, I see this person talking on a phone. I see this building in this color. I see whatever that you are experiencing, and you try to talk to yourself, and that it's stimulating your brain to use the language, and that's very, very helpful for learning a language. I would say it's more about the consistency than the intensity that matters in learning a second language.